G.I. Joe issue number 5. That's right, folks. A G.I. Joe thing happens in this issue. We say the iconic line from G.I. Joe, which is pretty exciting. I don't know, this book's been pretty good. I gotta say, I think it's just action-packed, exactly like the cartoon. No stopping, just stuff happening all the time, but now for an adult audience where there's blood and destruction and things are scary. I think that's kind of great. It's pretty cool. So we ended last issue, and the Joes were captured, and they're still captured at the beginning of this one. They're going to get beaten up, probably killed, but Mercer wants to have fun with them, so he drags Duke away, sends him in front of Destro, and he's like, oh great, Duke's still alive. I thought you were dead, dude. And then they beat him up for a bit, literally breaking almost every single bone Duke has in his body. He is going through the ringer here. Ain't looking pretty for Duke, but Duke's still not going to talk about who he's working for or what he's doing. What he's going to do is just take the beating until Destro's like, well, let's just have a new plan. What if we take these other people and we hurt them? So he takes Baroness, grabs her by the hair, pulls her. I like this little moment where he's like, all right, see what she bleeds out. She's like, I'd like to see you try. And he stops and looks at her for a moment like, oh, maybe you're going to be a bad guy later. So they're all going to get beaten up. Ain't looking good, you know. Chameleon has her like gun aimed on Baroness, and Duke starts laughing at everybody. He's lying on the floor covered in his own blood, and he's laughing because he knows something that Destro doesn't know. He knows Clutch, and then Clutch comes in with a huge tank, starts blasting everybody, and the rest of the book turns into a huge just fodder. Everyone's blowing up, everything's getting attacked. It's crazy. Like, Clutch is burning these people alive, essentially. It looks insane. We then move over to what Cobra Commander's doing. He's working with Dr. Menev, and they're like, all right, so the brain scanner is almost complete. There's just one thing, this like newfound energy that you got me that I think is going to be an interesting case. It's going to control the minds of everybody within like 5 miles, but anybody within like the mile of the detonation, it's going to completely evaporate their minds. He's like, all right, sacrifice for the new world. Sounds good to me. Cobra Commander's dangerous, bro. Ain't looking good. So then, I can't remember which character it is that works for Cobra. It's like the iron something. He's got a big cannon on his shoulder. He blasts the tank that Clutch is in, and more of the infantry show up to get into the fight. And there's no way for the Joes to get out of this. They're like pinned down. They're still locked. Like, they're still handcuffed together. Destro's got a huge army helping them. It ain't looking good for them. But Duke's like, we only got one shot out of here. We have to like run for the exit. It might be a suicide mission, but I'd gladly die today alongside this team. For rock and roll, they all say for rock and roll. It means there's only one thing left to say. Yo, Joe! And they blast out, Yo, Joe. Destro's like, what the fuck? What's going on? They run through the fire. They just run through the fire, literally being hit and bruised across the entirety of it. Everyone's taking the licks. Everyone's taking hits, but they are beating people up as best they can. Risk looks like the most damaged. Like, he took down so many people, and he's covered in blood and just bruised up and beaten. And they're throwing grenades at everybody. They managed to get Destro, but he's not dead yet, but he's, like, done. The Crimson Twins drag him out of there. The Joes make it to a hangar where they can escape on a helicopter. They get everybody aboard, and we think everyone's aboard. And they close up, and Baroness takes off. They get away, and as they're flying away, we look over, and we see Duke's not aboard the helicopter. Where is he? He's doing something else, annoyingly. But we'll cut back to that in a minute here. We're back with Cobra Commander and Dr. Menev, and they're like, okay, it's finished. I guess it should work. That's good. We're going to drop it in Washington, D.C. Cobra ranks will grow when we take over the government. Okay. But I guess before we like actually start up, we should test it on somebody. And Cobra Commander's like, yeah, you're correct. And he pushes Menev into the machine like, yeah, we're going to test it. Here you go. It's going to kill me. Don't do it. He's like, yeah, it could kill you, but sacrifice for science. So as he's burning Menev into the machine, he gets a ping from Destro like, hey, things aren't going good. The Joes attacked Duke and his team. I don't know what that was specifically, but they were here and they did stuff to us, and it ain't looking good now. So I don't know how we're going to handle that situation. And Cobra Commander's like, fine, I'll handle it myself. He hangs up, and as he does, we hear like a click of something near him. and we see a gun pointed at him, and it's Duke. And Duke's got a gun pointed at him, being like, who the hell are you? Nice. We know that's not going to be the end. But it'd be kind of fun. You know, if this was the end of the first, like, arc where Duke gets killed and they bring in, like, Flint and Jay and Roadblock and stuff, I'd be okay with that, too. Like, I think you gave Duke enough to do in this universe. If he dies here, I don't think he's going to die here because he's still got a lot to, like, set up with his character. But it's very interesting, action-packed. The artwork still looks great. Everybody's just bringing their A game. It moves really quick, too. I dig it. I really dig everything this book sets up. It's so much fun, so unique. Very G.I. Joe. So, G.I. Joe issue number 5. I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you all for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And of course, I will catch you in the next one. Have fun. Stay safe. Good luck.